Hey everybody, and welcome to VGU.TV's PlayStation Podcast, the very first episode of DualShock. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Mobley, next to Tom Freeman.
Hello.
Tom, we decided to do a PlayStation podcast for a couple reasons. My personal reason is that PlayStation is the superior machine, and that is the only news that I care about. Why did you want to do the PlayStation Podcast?
Why? Because I think VGU.TV needs to, VGU.TV needs to represent PlayStation on the site. And PlayStation's awesome. We all know it.
PlayStation is the best. Now, what was I going to do? I was going to do something. That's what I was going to do. Oh. We're going to start with a section called What Have We Been Playing. It's kind of like the GamerCast. If you ever listen to that, then you know what it is. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. Tom, I've been playing Saints Row the Third. I just got it 2 days ago.
Yeah, pretty.
And I'm loving it. I was playing it. I got the complete edition, so I got like all the DLC. And I fired it up, and like I was playing the first mission, where they airlift the ball.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is awesome!" And then like I'm skydiving through the thing in the second mission, and then they're like, "The jet's coming for us!" And I'm flying through the jet. It's so amazing. I was like, "This is." My mind was blown. I was like, I gotta keep playing this.
Have you had the chance to touch any of the DLC yet?
I did play a mission from the Trouble with Clones.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I played the first mission from A Trouble with Clones, and I actually got a couple trophies from it too. But yeah, I really enjoy it, which is good because I did not like the older Saints Row. They were kind of boring to me.
Yeah.
I didn't like how they were set up.
Saints Row.
I was just like, no, I was like, fuck this, Grand Theft Auto for life, dog.
Yeah, Saints Row 2 was released free on the store for a limited time, at least in the EU, and yeah, I played it, and I found it pretty tedious. It just seemed like a Grand Theft Auto clone, and just wasn't up to scratch.
But, the best part about this one is that, Saints Row 2 and Saints Row 1, yeah, they weren't as good. But Saints Row 3 has trophies, so that's also a plus.
It has a customization and fun that GTA is missing as well, I think.
Yes.
From San Andreas, when we had all that customization, you go to 4, and then you only have a choice of 2 hats and 2 glasses. It's not great.
Yeah, I did not. I never wear glasses or hats in GTA 4.
Yeah.
Like, I like the outfits. Like, I got a bunch of outfits the last time I played Grand Theft Auto. But I don't like the hats and the glasses. Like, I'm not gonna wear a Rusky hat. Come on.
That or a trucker.
Because it's Serb.
What
else have I been playing? Oh, I've been playing Hitman Absolution. I just got that.
Yeah.
And I like it. It's very hard. Like, and everybody tells me that, like, that's the point of Hitman, is like, they just drop you into a level and they're like, go nuts.
Yeah.
So I got to this hotel level, and I walk across an alley. I get my first view of the hotel, and I just stop, and I'm like, what the fuck am I about to do?
Yeah.
That's the problem with me. Like, I can't. I think that's why I don't like stuff like Skyrim and stuff like that too, because too much freedom. Like, I like something really linear.
Yeah.
And so when I have so much freedom, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do.
That's what a lot of the Hitman games are. It's a lot of trial and error because, drops you in, you got the basic premise of you need to kill this target, or with Absolution you need to get to this place, but it doesn't give you that much hand-holding from there. I mean, at least in Absolution it has a hint system, but yeah, in previous games that was it. Just got dropped in.
Well, I got a Hitman Absolution because a friend of mine said that it was an easy platinum. And I'm a big trophy whore. You would know this.
Indeed.
You're the only person on my trophy list that is higher than me.
I'm a confessed whore myself, yes.
And people say, like, my friend was like, Hitman, they basically give you the platinum in Hitman. So, I was playing it, like, it's really hard, and one of the trophies is you gotta play it on one of the professional difficulties, which is, like, hard or expert.
It's hard, professional to purist, yeah.
And purist, yeah. So I played on hard, because I was like, I'm not gonna try this purist nonsense, that's ridiculous. But it's still difficult. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? So I don't really get any hints.
Yeah, I don't like the instinct system in that game, because previous Hitman games you just had to be careful how you acted. You couldn't act stupidly,
Right.
but in this game you had a meter, which I think was a bit of a poor decision by IO, especially since they're giving it to Square Enix, so they should have kept to the formula now, since it was their last game.
And the last thing that I'm still playing DMC Devil May Cry.
Yes.
I'm still playing it. I've got Josh's copy. Josh is the host of VGU.TV's Gamercast. If you've never heard of it, check it out. It's really good. I borrowed his copy and I played on normal difficulty, and then I unlocked a difficulty called Son of Sparta. So I've been playing on that, and then I got stuck because it was really hard.
Yeah.
So I moved back to hard difficulty so I could upgrade more. I've been telling Josh, I'm like, you're not getting your copy till like Christmas.
You said upgrade more. Is there an upgrade system in that game then?
Yeah, you can upgrade your abilities and all of your weapons.
Weapons.
There are 2 angel weapons, 2 demon weapons, and then there are 3 guns.
So
there's Rebellion.
What are the angel and demon weapons for? What's the difference between that?
Demon weapons are slower.
Yeah.
Yeah. The demon weapons, they're called Arbiter, which is a big axe.
Yeah.
And Eric's, which is the gauntlets, like you've seen in the older games.
Indeed. Yeah.
And the angel weapons are much quicker. Like there's a big scythe called Osiris. And then there's these ninja stars that you can do long range with, which is called Aquila, and those are really fun. I prefer the angel weapons.
Yeah.
But the demon weapons, while slower, are also more powerful. Because you got a gigantic axe. They're really cool though. I love the system, the fighting system in that game. If you haven't played it, check it out. We also have a lot of content. A lot of DMC content on the site. We have a review. We got an article, top 5 reasons why DMC is better than Devil May Cry, and we also did a DMC spoiler cast if you have played it, so you can check that out.
Nice, yeah. We'll have to get around to playing that at least. I haven't even played Bayonetta yet. So.
I need to play that. I'm actually going to start. I started it a while back, but I haven't finished it, so I was planning to get back to it like today.
Yeah.
But I haven't put it back in just yet. But yeah, that's all I've been playing recently.
Yeah. See, I've been busy this week. See, the only game I've been playing, I downloaded the DC Universe Online, which is free to us PlayStation folk. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. So after a day of my PlayStation being put on download mode, I got to play that. The customization I think is really good. The choices between. The problem I have with that though is you don't really get to try out any of the powers, so you don't know whether you'd like them or not before you try them. And yeah, so many times I've had to go through the tutorial segment, which kind of sucked. But yeah, I was surprised how well made it was. I didn't think an MMO would work on a PlayStation.
I did download DC Universe Online a long time ago, and it was probably my connection. But when I finally did install it, you turn it on and that long loading bar, when you open it up for the first time, where it's like we're installing it. That took a day and a half.
Oh no! See, luckily I'm at University Hall, so I've got fast internet at the moment. But it still took me, because I think it's around 16 gigabytes. But yeah, so it's no small feat. So. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, I think it's really well made, and I've heard a lot of horror stories because I went on forums to see what people thought about it, and there's a lot of horror stories about waiting in queues and stuff. But since I've been playing it, I've been on and off it quite a few times. I've never been in a queue, and there's always been loads of people. So,
yeah, I'm not a fan of MMOs, but I did play it. I did try it. And it's not bad. It's not for me, but I can tell why people like it.
Yeah. See, I've never played.
I was having fun, but it's one of those things where I'm not going to get back to it, and so it's not worth keeping for me.
Well, it's free, yeah, because it's free to play now. I'd never tried an MMO.
Yeah.
I thought I'd see, what all this fuss is about with World of Warcraft and all this. So I joined it. I think I like it, but I think the community now is too specialist. You can see the chat log, the general chat log's full of all these terms, this jargon that's specific to the game that you just won't understand. And I didn't find anyone. I mean, luckily I had a friend with me who, used to pay the subscription, but now he's playing it for free. He showed me the ropes, but I know I didn't find the community very welcoming, to be honest. But apart from that, it's quite fun. I mean, the gameplay's, it's not amazing for an action game, but it's kind of fun, You press different buttons.
I think it's hard to integrate yourself into a community like that, just like immediately.
Yeah, but I mean,
it takes time.
It does, yeah. But I think it's also an established community. I mean, this is how many years has DC Universe Online been out? 2 or 3 years now, at least.
Yeah, it's at least. I don't remember the exact.
But yeah, I think that there's a lot of, I think it's more PvP focused now because it's only those who enjoy it that have stayed on. And I guess every now and again they get the curious people like me that pop on. But I'm not sure whether they'll carry on playing it, but I'll still see a few missions and see what else the game's got for offer. But I mean, for a free-to-play game, it offers a lot. So, I mean, if you got a decent enough internet, don't mind your PlayStation being on download mode for half a day or a day. It's I'd say it's worth checking out at least. But apart from that, I've not really played much. I've tried Dragon's Dogma. They added the hard mode, so I tried that. And the problem with Dragon's Dogma, you only get one save. Otherwise, if you want to start a new game, it saves over your character, but you can get over that by just saving it to a USB stick. So I tried to do it from the character from scratch because I've never tried the mage class before. But yeah, the hard mode is hard from scratch because I had tried it with my current character and it was didn't seem much of a step. But it makes this beginning of the game almost impossible.
Yeah.
But apart from that, no, that's all I've been playing this week. So.
Well, I think it's a good time for us to tell you what you could be playing, listeners, if you get the PlayStation Plus. Tom, you and I both have PlayStation Plus, and we both know that it is a very good deal. And I'm not just saying this. I'm not just saying this because I always pick on fellow editor James Pagello because he's an Xbox guy. I'm always calling the PlayStation the superior machine, which it is. But I think it's better because with Xbox Live, you have to get it if you want to play online. You have to get it if you want to play online, if you want to play with your friends, if you want to watch your Netflix, if you want to do anything online, you have to pay for Xbox Live, and that's $60 a year. But for your PlayStation 3, that is completely optional. You can use all your you can play online with your friends. You can talk to your friends. You can watch your Netflix, your Hulu Plus, your Amazon Video, your Vudu, whatever you want, your YouTube, and you don't need PlayStation Plus. But if you do happen to get PlayStation Plus, it's only $50 a year. And right now, between now and March 5th, 2013, if you pay the $50 to get a year's worth of PlayStation Plus, you get an extra 3 months free. So I would take that deal. Definitely take it because it pays for itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You get discounted. Yeah, you get discounted games. You get free games every week. And what does Xbox do? You get access onto their online store, but no discounts.
In a day and age where online, which is a right pretty much, especially it's ridiculous having to pay. Imagine paying that through Steam or something. They're not going to get away with it next generation at least. But I know. Plus, since I've had it, I was skeptical at first and didn't buy it for the first 2 years. But after that, it's paid for itself.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Is it pays for itself. Even if you're looking at the week's releases and you're thinking to yourself, I wouldn't like that. there's still next week.
Exactly. You got a year's worth of weeks to worry about.
And since we're both on different sides of the planet, Tom and I, we actually have two different stores. The UK store gets different stuff.
So luckily mine's applicable to the whole of the EU.
Yeah, and the US store has different stuff. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to start listing off some of the stuff that we got. And then, Tom, I'm going to pass it off to you, and you tell us what you guys got.
Yeah.
These are the new arrivals in the US store for PlayStation Plus users. We got Guardians of Middle-earth for free. That's a MOBA game. I personally, not a fan of MOBA games, but if you're interested, I hear Guardians of Middle-earth is very good. So, if you like MOBA games, check it out. You might like it. It's for free on PlayStation Plus. We also have a PSN game. The rest are discounts. We have a PSN game, Karateka, that's $5. Big Sky Infinity is a PS3 and Vita game. That's $6. And another PS3 Vita game is Knit Underground, and that is $9. So that's the new arrivals. I mean, we've got other stuff on there. There's still some other stuff that's free, like we still got Darksiders and whatnot. But yeah, that's what we have. What did you guys get, Tom?
So we also got the Lord of the Rings MOBA. We got F1 Race Stars, which honestly doesn't look that great, but we do, however, have Sleeping Dogs for free on PlayStation Plus, and Quantum Conundrum, which is also free for PlayStation Plus.
Sleeping Dogs is a great game. I really enjoyed it. I platinumed it.
It didn't click for me, but I've heard a lot. If you like that sort of game, then definitely check it out. But apart from that, I think for Plus, that's about it for our Plus discounts. We got a few discounts on Alien Breed and Bentley's Hat Pack, which is some short campaign for a Sly game.
And that's just for this week. Like, I mean, for people in the US, we still have Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus. That's the Vita game, and Foosball 2012. Darksiders, Mega Man 9 and 10, those are all free. Quantum Conundrum we actually have for free as well over here.
Yes.
And Retro City Rampage, Anomaly Warzone Earth, Super Street Fighter 4 still free. See, we have tons of games for free. Also, I believe Infamous 2, Little Big Planet 2, and Ratchet & Clank All for One are still free.
Yep, they are all still free for us as well, yeah. So check it out. So, I believe your store has a Final Fantasy sale on.
We do. We actually do. We also, before I forget, if you like putting games on your hard drive, you'd rather not bother going to the GameStop to buy your games. Dead Space 3 and Sly Cooper Themes of Time are on the store now. Sly Cooper is $40, and you get the Vita version as well. So that's a good deal.
Indeed, yep.
If you had to pick one, I would say Sly. Get Sly. We have. Hold on, that's not what I want. I'm looking at the store right now.
We have the Hitman HD collections hit this week as well for $19.99. I mean, that's a great deal if you haven't checked them out, especially Blood Money. I mean, that alone. But you can get that alone as well if you wanted for $9.99. But the better deal, obviously, is the trilogy.
Okay, so we also have a Final Fantasy 25th anniversary sale. And I was telling this to my girlfriend yesterday, Tom, because she doesn't get a lot of time to play games.
I do think Final Fantasy is the best game if you don't.
So much less time for her to play Final Fantasy. But I told her that she should start buying them anyway, so that she can. So when she finally does have time, she could just fire one up. But
the best thing about Plus though is if you download the free games, you can always have always.
As long as you still have Plus, as long as you keep subscribing to Plus, you will always have that free game. If you if you let your Plus subscription run out, it will be like,
six months, I think.
It'll be like, hey, you can't play this. You got it when you got it discounted. You can't play this.
Yeah.
Let me talk about these Final Fantasy deals. Final Fantasy, I love Final Fantasy. It's a great series. Some sales are stronger than others, but I guess it's really all one person's opinion. But here are all the deals for the Final Fantasy 25th anniversary sale. We have Final Fantasy Origins. Here are the PS1 classics. I'm going to start with that. Final Fantasy Origins, that's 1 and 2. Final Fantasy 5 and 6 are all $5. We also have I think Final Fantasy Tactics is also a PS1 classic, and that is $5 as well. We also have 7, 8, and 9 are $5. I already have them, and now they're on sale. First world problems, but still great games. All $5. Definitely pick them up. We also have Final Fantasy IV, the complete collection, $10 for PSP and Vita, it looks like. And that is a great game. Oh my god. 4 is my favorite. Tom, do you have a favorite Final Fantasy?
Well, honestly, I've only really played 1, which is 7, and,
7? I haven't finished 7 yet. I'm getting close, but...
See, I've been playing through it again. I got to disc 3 when I was a kid with my PlayStation 1, but, now I've got it on PS3, and I mean, a lot of it went over my head, so
right.
Being more mature playing it. But yes, Final Fantasy 7 I found enjoyable, so I still recommend it, even though I haven't played the other ones.
There's also 3 more games. Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lions. That's a PSP, PS Vita game. That's also $5. And if you're a Dissidia fan, we have Dissidia 1 and Dissidia 012 Duodecim are both $10 a piece, along with the Dissidia 012 Prologue as Final Fantasy. That's $1.50. So that's the PlayStation Store's 25th anniversary Final Fantasy sale. Good deals.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
I love that series. I think it's great. So if you like it, now would be the time to.
And if you've never seen it like me, then I'd at least try 1. I'd start with 7. I'd say.
7 is a great game. If you like the class, I'd say Final Fantasy goes through like different stages. Like the first 6.
And don't be intimidated by the fact that it has a number at the end, because none of them are connected, from what I understand, apart from the newer 13 and 13.2.
It goes through phases. So like if you're a fan of like the more like Chrono Trigger kind of RPG, that kind of battle system, you can go for like one of the first ones, 1 through 6. 4 and 6 are supposed to be the best ones. I personally love 4. Or if you want to get a little more intricate with 7, 8, and 9. 9 is great. 7 is great too.
7's very steampunky as well. So.
Yeah. So those are our picks, personally. I love 9. Definitely try out 9. I haven't tried 8 yet. I hear it's really great though, and I want to play it.
8's always great.
So I think that's it for PlayStation Plus deals. Yep. You want to get back? And you want to get up into the news?
And let's get into the news. So, you want to cover the Twin Peaks Deadly Premonition?
Yeah, so I saw this story the other day. There's a game that came out a couple of years back called Deadly Premonition. It was an Xbox 360 exclusive, and it got mixed reviews. It got a 2 on IGN. But it would get scores as high as 100 on Metacritic. It was one of those you either love it or you hate it kind of thing, kind of games. Like the gameplay wasn't the best. Some of it was, like the story was really weird. It based a lot of its stuff off of it drew a lot of its inspiration off of Twin Peaks, which is a great series. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Tom, but it's really good.
I've heard of it though. Yeah.
It's very good. Like Kyle MacLachlan is great as Cooper. And Ray Wise is also very good in it as well. It's very supernatural. It's very cool. I would definitely like to play it.
So what type of game is it? Is it a shooter or is it some sort of...
It's kind of like a... I don't know a whole lot about it. I do know that there's some driving segments. I do know that there's some shooting segments. So I would say that it's kind of like a third-person investigation kind of game, I guess.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know. Probably some. I don't know how to describe it. I've never really seen much of it because I never expected to play it. But now It's coming to PlayStation 3. Deadly Premonition, the director's cut, is going to get a high-resolution makeover, though it won't make the characters look any less blocky. It's fixed up some of the gameplay and mechanics to make it a little more accessible, and also it has trophies.
That's always a good thing. Just
So
very easy.
I mean, if it's fixed the gameplay, I mean, honestly, that's not going to bother me because my history has shown me that I will endure bad gameplay if the story is intriguing enough. Like,
yeah.
Prime examples being Max Payne and Kane and Lynch.
Oh.
I was fascinated by these grizzled old characters.
I
assholes.
really liked Max Payne 3 as well, but yes, the gameplay got a bit dull.
Max Payne, I liked Max Payne 3, except for all the screen tears and camera effects and whatnot.
And the unskippable cutscenes.
I was just like, man, these are so frequent. But I was really talking about the first couple of games.
Yeah, I played them too, yeah.
Where it's the only time I will admit that the game probably would have been better on PC. Because, man, it's just so difficult to navigate those controls on the PS2.
Yeah.
But, I would like to play Deadly Premonition. I'm still probably not going to pay that much for it. So I'll probably wait till it's cheap.
Do you know whether it's going to come out as full retail price, or is it a discounted?
I have no idea. They were just talking about what it is and what's kind of fixed up about it. But I mean, that's it for that. Also, Tom, I would suggest you check out Twin Peaks. I know it's on Netflix out here. I still haven't finished it, but it's very good from what I've seen.
I don't think Netflix is as good value over here as it is over there.
I would check it out, though.
Yes, I shall.
So, Suda51 fans, Ragnarok Online dev Gung Ho Online Entertainment acquired Suda51's Grasshopper manufacturer in Inc. No details of the deal were closed, but I just wanted to let you know that before I launch into a segue into this. Speaking of Suda51, their new game, Killer is Dead, will be hitting consoles in the West this summer. There's no specific date. They just say that this summer. It will. I expect it will be pushed back because if it's this summer, I would expect a date by now. But whatever. In the game, you play as an executioner named Mondo Zappa, who wields a sword in one hand and interchangeable weapons with his other synthetic arm. I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Was it gameplay or just a cinematic?
I think it was mostly cinematic. There might have been some kind of gameplay, but I think it was so seamless that you could barely tell.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Most of Suda51's games look interesting. Some are not very good. Lollipop Chainsaw looks interesting, but,
Yes, I've heard bad things about it, and I thought the demo was pretty atrocious, to be honest.
Shadows of the Damned. Looks pretty cool, but not as cool as you'd think. It's still a good game. It's decent, but it's not the kind of game that you'd play more than once, really. Yeah. Unless you really, really love it.
Sounds like
or you really want that platinum, because Suda51 did not let make those difficulty trophies stack. Who does that?
It's pretty bad.
But for me personally, I'm a big fan of No More Heroes. I think it's one of his best games. I played the port to PS3. I don't feel that I missed anything, though. I would like to try it on Wii, but it is very good. I've heard Killer 7 is great as well. Killer is Dead looks interesting, and I would like to check it out, but I'm not going to do what I did with No More Heroes and buy it day one. I'm going to wait till it's cheap.
Yeah.
So, until then, we'll get you more news if we hear any.
Yeah. So, we see more in the news is Medal of Honor has been taken out of VA's franchises and not going to be announcing one in the near future anyway. according to Chief Operating Officer Peter Moore, he said we struggled with two challenges: a slowdown that impacted the entire sector and poor critical and commercial reception of Medal of Honor Warfighter. And he continued to say that Medal of Honor was an obvious miss and the game was solid, but the focus on combat authenticity did not resonate with consumers. But honestly, Medal of Honor has been losing out to Call of Duty for a long time, so it's not really a surprise.
Yeah, not really.
And especially since they're pretty much, they make Battlefield as well, which is competing with their own product. They'd be better served focusing on that instead.
I noticed in a recent story that Peter Moore also called the reviews for Warfighter lower than it deserved. That was the quote.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really pretentious. Because, I mean, obviously, you work for EA, so you're obviously going to be like, yeah,
it's slightly biased, yes.
You're a little biased on it. That's like Sam Houser, the guy that writes Grand Theft Auto, saying the reviews for Grand Theft Auto 4 were lower than it deserved. You know, yes. I mean, it's no matter what part of the company you're in, even if you had a hand in making the game or if you didn't, it's still your baby. You still have to support it. So, I personally, I'm so tired of Medal of Honor and Call of Duty and Battlefield and all that. So I couldn't care less about these games. I don't care what score they got. I'm still not going to play it.
Well, that's the thing. I've seen a lot of people buy Call of Duty. I mean, that's pretty much the Apple of video games at the moment. Call of Duty. Yeah. Everyone wants a Call of Duty game.
Everybody wants Call of Duty.
But on my friends list, I've not seen a single person playing Medal of Honor Warfighter since it's come out.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't even know when it came out.
No, neither. No, I think it came out around E3 maybe. E3 last year. Cause I'm pretty sure it came out during that time. But yes, no.
I'm gonna look it up real quick while you go into the next news.
Well, another news we see Rockstar talk about GTA is the release date's been pushed back from spring all the way to September. So all your posters that say come in spring, you need to amend them.
I was upset. I mean, obviously, anybody that knows me, if you listen to the Gamercast, I'm on there almost all the time. But I usually, everybody knows if you listen to that I'm a huge Grand Theft Auto fan.
Yeah.
To the point where it's one of the top 3 things that I talk about the most because I know the most about it.
Yeah.
So it drives my girlfriend insane. But I was disappointed. As you could probably assume, when I heard that the game was going to come out in September. The date is September 17th, right?
Yes, September 17th of this year, which is, at least that's good news, because Rockstar are notorious for not announcing a release date until, not too long beforehand, so... that's kind of, I take that as their apology, to be honest. And they released a few screenshots recently which showed sharks and submarines. So
they said, what was it that they said? Oh, they said that they wanted to use this time to bring you the best game that possible to make sure that it would, and had all the polish it needed.
I trust Rockstar, to be honest. I mean, they. Look at what they produce, what is it, Red Dead Redemption, GTA 4, even at the start of this generation, was a great, it was an amazing game, not maybe disappointing to the franchise, but for, this generation to achieve that straight away.
It's very good. But I'll tell you this much about the reaction to the pushback is, I was on Instagram, I follow Rockstar on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
And so I see a bunch of people, I see the picture and it's just the GTA 5 logo and it says the date 9/17/2013. And everybody, all the comments, this is bullshit, I'm canceling my pre-order. And I'm like, Really, guys? I mean, You already
Why?
paid for it. You obviously want the game.
Exactly. What? What? All this, Oh, I don't want.
You're gonna
it's
you're gonna
rubbish.
cancel your pre-order because it's been pushed back.
Exactly. Do you want them to release it like a Bethesda's Skyrim or a Fallout?
Yeah, I would.
When they release those games are buggy as crap. You're not even getting your proper experience until months later. So yes.
Yeah, I would rather have a good game later than a shitty game now. So.
Definitely, yeah. And it sounds extremely ambitious as well. This project, so.
Yeah, I mean, I believe. I can't remember the exact quote, but I believe they said it's the map is bigger than San Andreas, Red Dead Redemption, and L.A. Noire combined.
Yeah,
but I'm not certain if that's the right quote because that sounds really big.
It does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I know it's definitely the Red Dead map combined with something, and the Red Dead map alone is huge. So.
Yeah. Before we move on, Medal of Honor Warfighter came out last October.
Last October. So
October 23rd.
Yeah. I think of what came out around there. But yes, I mean, I didn't really see much advertised, and I didn't see anyone I knew. That's pretty bad, though, that they pulled that out of rotation in stores. Yeah. They're like, we're not going to give you any more store copies because nobody's buying it. And it's only like 3 months later. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's not good,
I guess because it saves money. Yeah, they're not printing anymore, I guess.
But speaking of EA, we also have EA Labels President Frank. I don't know how to pronounce it. Gabo.
Gabo sounds about right. Yeah, I'd say that.
He said that EA will quote will be launching a Battlefield game next year. End quote. But they are again quote not announcing an annualization of Battlefield at this time.
I'd say they're being careful. I think they've had a really big fan backlash after they included the beta to Battlefield 4 code in the Medal of Honor Warfighter game. I think a lot of fans weren't happy about that, and they realised that, and they don't want Battlefield to be watered down because Battlefield, they know, is not as popular as Call of Duty, and they know that if they churn out Battlefield, you can't because much different games to Call of Duty. Call of Duty's a corridor shooter. Battlefield's, huge open warfare vehicles. There's a lot of balancing that needs to go along with that. So, yeah, I think they're right to come out with that statement saying they're not announcing annualization. But it's also got the next generation console to look forward to. So,
now again, I don't care about Battlefield, but I do see why people love it, and I know that Battlefield 3 was very popular when it came out.
Yeah.
So I think this will be good for EA if Battlefield 4 comes out next year.
Definitely.
So, I
wouldn't be surprised if you see EA replace their Medal of Honor schedule with Bad Company games instead, which was a spin-off of Battlefield games, because they were received well critically and well, and did well for them as well.
Yeah. So if you are a fan of Battlefield, you have that to look forward to. Battlefield 4 will probably be next year.
Yeah.
So,
or even this year, isn't it?
Oh, well, technically, yeah, this year, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know. Well, this was like in the past week, so it could still be 2014.
Yes, true. I thought I'm not sure, but I thought the beta code that came in with Medal of Honor.
I'm sure we'll see something at E3.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Alright. What's next?
Well, we got Saints Row 4, which could be coming this year. It's been sad to see THQ die, but its IPs haven't died with it.
It is very sad.
It's thankfully because Saints Row 3 was a blast, and as Matt said earlier in the show, so...
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and what was it? Chris Stockman. He was the design director for the original Saints Row. He said that in that the fourth installment of the series could be coming to consoles as early as August.
Yeah,
which is pretty early. Like, I haven't heard anything about Saints Row 4.
I think they'd be, I think it's a bit brash for them to do that, but that being said, there was meant to be a huge expansion announced for Saints Row 3, which was Enter the Dominatrix, which they then pushed back to be the next game. which ended at, So I think it's probably well in the making, but it does beg the question whether it's going to be a true sequel or just Saints Row 3.5.
Right. Well, that's just what Stockman has said. Publisher, the Deep Silver, who is the publisher that picked up Saints Row after THQ dissolved, and they have yet to confirm any details. So there's not, we don't know for certain if Saints Row 4 is going to come out this year or next year, but that's the word on the street, is all that we're saying. In bigger news, though, Superbot Entertainment and SCEA split ways.
So Superbot Entertainment made PlayStation All Stars, which you may know.
Oh yeah, very good game.
Yeah.
There was a quote. Here we go. They said Superbot Entertainment can confirm that the relationship with SCEA, so the Computer Entertainment of America, has ended on good terms. We are extremely grateful to have had the opportunity to work with Sony on PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and are extremely proud of the work we have done. Superbot Entertainment will continue working on projects that reflect our passion for games and our commitment to creating award-winning titles. We are very excited about beginning the next chapter of our future, and invite all of our fans and supporters to follow our journey.
Yeah. I guess they can publish a multi-platform now at least, but it's a bit worrying. I just think Sony can't really afford these publishers, and I think they were brought in for a gimmick product.
As far as PlayStation All-Stars DLC, future DLC will be handled by Sony Santa Monica. So we're still going to get that. We're still going to get those extra fighters from Starhawk and Gravity Rush. And that extra level from Heavenly Sword. So it's a great game. Tom, you were asking me about it earlier.
I've yet to play it, but I played Super Smash Brothers. I mean, a lot of people, reference that when they talk about it.
It's similar. It's the kind of thing where it's similar but not quite. Like it's different enough. It's a good game, and I've found it. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, I don't think that genre appeals to me.
It's fun. Nobody comes to my house, so I don't play it very often.
Yeah.
But I do occasionally throw it on and play online, with friends online.
Yeah.
What was I gonna do next? We also have one more piece of news. The big news.
Yes, so those of you who pay attention to PlayStation may have noticed they released a hashtag PlayStation and a video just showing some flashy PlayStation icons, such as your usual triangle, square, circle, X from the controller, and a date saying February 20th of 2013. Nothing was said about it, just the dates, but I think,
the only other words in that trailer were the future.
The future, oh yes, yeah. That's what I mean. I think we all know now the next generation is way overdue, and with the Wii U releasing, it's pretty much guaranteed that the next PlayStation and Xbox will be hitting this year. So we're thinking this 20th of February announcement will be the PlayStation 4.
It is important to stress that we don't know that for certain.
No.
There's no confirmation of that at all. Like we said, the trailer just said the future, February 20th. Fan speculation believes it's about the PlayStation 4. It could be about anything else, but
it could be. But
we're choosing to believe it's about the PlayStation 4 because, like Tom said, it's about that time. It's about that time for a new console. And that's going to be our topic of the week, is the PlayStation 4 announcement. I don't know how to feel about it, Tom, because I just got my PlayStation 3 maybe 2 years ago.
Oh yes, you were late.
I'm always late because I'm so poor. But I love it. I play it constantly. And the problem with new consoles is that I always tend to get them near the end of their run. It happened when I got my GameCube. It happened when I got my PlayStation 3. It didn't happen with my Xbox, but it's still... I sold that anyway because it became useless.
Well, luckily, you didn't miss out too much on this generation, as the PlayStation 3 didn't have didn't have a very good launch, did it?
No. But it also happened with the PSP. I mean, and that's the one, like I got it like last year.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing that's good about getting a console late, is now you have a library to pick from.
Yes.
It's just like, if you get, like, Josh from GamerCast, Josh Romolu, got the PlayStation Vita day one. He got Uncharted, and I think that's it. I think he also got Super Stardust.
Yeah.
That's not a whole lot to play. And those were the only two games from the launch that he really wanted to play.
Yeah.
So, that's the tough thing about console launches, is their launch titles. Are they good? Do you want to play them?
And more importantly, the price point with PlayStation 3.
How much money are you going to spend at the end of the night when you get that console and your games? I don't know if I'm ready to see more about the PlayStation 4, but I'm certainly not ready to buy one.
No, exactly. I'm nowhere near prepared at the moment. I think PlayStation 3's got into a good run now. I mean, the exclusives that have been coming out for PlayStation, last year, this year. I mean, we've got The Last of Us even still coming out this year. But you can tell Sony's been gearing up for this next generation, because they've been, instead of the next Little Big Planet, we've got Little Big Planet Karting, and we've got All-Stars, gimmicky titles like that.
I've played a little bit of Little Big Karting. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. Yeah, it just seems like Mod Nation Race.
It's basically Mod Nation with Sackboy.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think Media Molecule will be working on a Vita game. I think that's their next big project. But
yeah, I honestly thought that Little Big Karting was going to be a Vita game until Josh said, "No, it's on the PlayStation. It's been on the PlayStation."
Is it not on the Vita?
It's not on the Vita.
Is it not? I swear I thought I saw it. Oh, maybe that's a Mod Nation video. I thought at 1E3.
No, there's Little Big Planet Vita, but Little Big Karting is a PS3 game.
Hey.
Which you would think that Little Big Karting would be a perfect PS Vita game.
Especially since it's owned by Sony, so you'd think they'd try and push the Vita.
You could take it. I remember when I had a Nintendo DS, we would go. My friends and I would go anywhere, and we'd take our DSs with us. And when we needed to pass the time, we'd go to a lot of midnight launches, like in movie theaters. So we'd get there a couple of hours early, and sit in our seats, and we'd just, flip open our DSs and just play some Mario Kart. So you'd think that Sony would get the same idea and be like, if you're dicking around on the subway or something like that, you can play online and race some guys,
Yeah.
But not the case, which is weird to me. I just think that Little Big Karting would have been a perfect Vita game.
I think they've missed with that one. So what studios do you think could be making launch titles for PlayStation 4?
I mean, obviously Sony will be, but
which of their studios though? Because I think Naughty Dog are making Last of Us, but
Naughty Dog's making Last of Us. There could be an Uncharted 4 in the mix.
I was going to say, because Naughty Dog also, they were working on Last of Us during Uncharted 3 as well. Because they brought the enslaved developer, I can't remember his name at this time, but the...
Ninja Theory?
They brought a few people over from there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what he was working on... The Last of Us, and had to pretend he was working on Uncharted 3 until Last of Us was released, and he said, no, I was really working on this. So there's obviously two studios within Naughty Dog now. So
I would assume the only other guesses I can make, well, one is a guess, one is more of a hope.
Yeah.
My guess is Insomniac is probably working on something.
Yeah, but they're no longer owned by Sony now, so hopefully...
This is true. And my hope is Sucker Punch. I hope Sucker Punch is working on something.
I think they would either be working, because I think Infamous... I've not finished Infamous 2, I finished Infamous 1, but I'm pretty sure there's an Infamous 3 implied.
Infamous 2 is very good. You haven't finished it, but
I got halfway through. It's fine.
I'm gonna tell you this much. It's gonna be harder for you to with both endings to think to yourself, oh yeah, there might be an Infamous 3.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, I've been spoiled before, but I think there's still room for Infamous 3 or them to go in a new direction. But I think Sucker Punch, they come out with the Sly trilogy before, and now they're coming out with Infamous. So I definitely think they're strong.
I'm okay with studio. Infamous not getting a third title. I wouldn't mind a third title because I like it, but I don't want it to get too tired, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I agree.
I'm also interested to see if Sucker Punch does anything new. Because, like I said, Infamous 2's endings they both have a sense of finality to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like to see if they're working on something new, and if they are, what it is.
I think, the Killzone developers, Guerrilla.
Guerrilla, that's right.
They're still owned by Sony, I'm pretty sure, so they'll probably be coming up with something.
Well, I think there's a Killzone, they're working on a new Killzone game.
That's
Liberation,
to me.
I think.
Oh, that's I thought it's a Vita game.
Oh, I think that's a Vita game, yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll be working on something big. Hopefully
we're not setting us up for a Killzone 4.
Yeah,
I heard that the ending for 3 was just ridiculous.
I didn't buy it. Yeah, I bought 2 because obviously, it still looks like one of the best games.
It does. I will give you this much. I'm not a fan of Killzone. I couldn't get into it. I didn't care after a while. I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. Yeah. But I will admit, it's a very pretty game.
Yeah, I quite like the original Killzone because it has some interesting themes and story. Killzone 2 was just vapid with story, but Killzone 1 got a lot of hate because it's a pretty generic shooter and it's just visuals over gameplay. Same with Killzone 2.
I'll tell you a funny story about Killzone 1. For me, I bought Killzone 1 a long time ago because I wanted to try it out.
Yeah.
And I plugged it into my PlayStation 2, and I played the first mission, got past that, then I was in the second mission, played for a little while, died, and then went straight back to the beginning of the mission.
Oh no.
And immediately just turned it off. I was like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Oh,
and then I returned the game.
I quite like Killzone 1, because at least in that game you had a choice later missions between 3 characters. Like, you could play stealth gameplay, a normal soldier, or like a kind of a tank. So, you think they carry some of that over, but Killzone 2 was just generic shooter, and I thought they'd expand on 3 to go back to their roots, but 3 was just more of Killzone 2, and I didn't buy it because I had enough by that point.
As far as pricing goes for a PlayStation 4, though, there's no way. I said this on the roundtable. You can find that on our YouTube VGU.TV official, the gaming roundtable about PS4 speculation. I said this on the roundtable. There's no way that they're going to make the same mistake twice and charge $599 US.
No, definitely not. They knew that was what destroyed them. They'd rather take a loss than what they did then.
The highest,
can't afford to do it.
I would assume that the highest price for a PlayStation 4 would be $400.
I think Sony are going to be smart and hopefully wait till Microsoft announce their price, because I'm fairly certain their press conference is usually after Microsoft.
It usually is, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm fairly certain they will just, I think that they'll have such a flexible price range that they'll hopefully be able to match even the Xbox's price.
Yeah. I would, in an ideal world, I'd like to see a $300 console, but the highest it'll be is $400, for sure.
I'd say $450.
$450? I'm staying optimistic and saying $400.
Yeah. I don't think the only way they could go to $600 is if Microsoft announced 600 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see them going that high again though, because they know that destroy them, and the Vita's not been too good for them either.
Alright. I think it's time for Question Corner. Do you agree?
I do agree.
Let's let's take a break from PS4 questions first, because I want to I want to ask you a different question. You and Tom, you and I are both trophy whores.
Indeed, yes.
Self-admitted. Now, I have a friend, David. He's way into collecting trophies as well. And he asked us for our first show. He asked us a question: what were your hardest trophies that you could remember? Tom, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. See, this is a tough one. I'd say Call of Duty World at War. There was the veteran difficulty trophy, only because of the some of the later missions. That game was it rained grenades, non-stop, and you die in 2 shots. So you had to avoid a constant rain of grenades. It's more down to buggy AI than actually difficult, but it's just it's so hard to stay alive and so hard to get through levels. It's just luck. So that's probably up in the highest. It's that or the Arkham Asylum get all the combat trophies, because some of them, especially the extreme maps, are just a pain.
Oh yeah,
you have to get it perfect.
Those are too hard for me. Like I can't do it.
But yes,
I'll tell you, for most of my my hardest trophies, they're trophies that I'm still trying to get. But for trophies that I have gotten, I'd say probably one of my hardest platinums that I ever got was Sound Shapes for PS3.
Alright.
Because with Sound Shapes, there is one trophy for completing the campaign, and it's a gold. And then the rest of the trophies are split into 2 parts. You have several levels of beat school, which you can just look up a walkthrough and just place the beats wherever they tell you to, and then bam, you've got your trophy. But there were also several trophies for each level called Death Mode, where you had to get all the notes in a specific amount of time, and they were randomly generated. So like you couldn't look up a walkthrough for this. Those were some of the hardest trophies. I swear to God, I almost threw my controller multiple times. I was just like, oh my God, I gotta get this, because I knew I could get that platinum. I just had to keep trying.
Indeed, yeah.
I could tell you a few trophies that are very hard that I've tried to go for.
Yeah.
Like the Rampage trophy in Counter-Strike Global Offense. It's win an arms race without dying.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's hard because, like, you have a life bar. It's not like you can regenerate at all. So you have to go through, like, 26 or 23 or 24, some number like that, 24 weapons, and get 24 kills without dying.
Yeah.
So you gotta do it in one go. And you can't, like, put the AI on easy or anything like that. It's gotta be, like, normal. Or the trophy doesn't count. I wanted that platinum so bad, but I just couldn't get that trophy.
Oh, see, the trophies I don't usually get are the ones that are, based online trophies, that require you to get the top rank, because a lot of the time the games, on the online, it just feels tacked on, and I don't feel like investing, 20 hours into my life, into a game that I don't care about. And then there's also, some of the challenges are just too hard, like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I mean, some of those trophies, there's one we have to do a certain amount of moves in one game. I mean, that's some of the hardest trophies I've ever seen, and I just won't get them now because the community's dead, so it's just not worth it.
One of my hardest trophies, Grand Theft Auto 4, there's a trophy called Finish Him. Complete 10 melee counters in 4 minutes.
Oh,
if you play Grand Theft Auto 4, you can't. It's hard to just do regular melee encounters. You have to be very good at like the counter attacks.
Opportunity as well.
You have to be very good at counter attacks, and it's easier said than done. Like you have to have the exact right timing to pull off a successful counter move.
Yeah, that
took me a long time.
Yeah.
But if you want, if anybody out there doesn't have that trophy, I'll give you a tip. There is always a line at the heli tour. So that's a great place to just always have a steady flow of pedestrians to try and beat up for that trophy.
So that's been my trouble as well, just trying to get getting enough opportunity. It's a lot of the time, you hit someone, they run away, and it's just like,
You're like, well, damn it. I wish I could platinum Grand Theft Auto 4, but those online trophies are just way too hard.
I know, and especially getting, even to the top rank in that game, it takes even longer, way longer than it should, especially since, none of the competitive modes are fun. And it's just
they really aren't. They really aren't that much fun.
It's just tedious.
It's fun. It's fun to just run around and not worry about
it's fun
trophies.
To mess about on the free roam, and even the races can be fun. But stuff like team deathmatch and stuff, it's just
Yeah, it's a pain. It's a pain in the ass.
It's terrible. Any other questions?
We have several questions. That's why I wanted to take a step back and get that out of the way, because the rest of our questions are about PS4. So I thought we'd take a break, kind of like a little intermission, and then jump right back into it.
Yeah.
So, first of all, our first question comes from Zach Davis. He also works at he also works with us on VGU.TV. He most recently wrote, I believe, the Game of the Month for January. So check that out. He's also on a few of the Gamercasts. He asks about the PS4. He says, "Do you think Move will ship in box with systems?" Now, we were talking about this earlier, and I think that Move is gonna there'll be some bundle packs. There'll be Move and with the console, but it will be optional.
Yeah.
Because Move's not that popular. Not a lot of people like Move. They don't, like, a lot of people just don't care. They're like, I just want my controller, alright?
Well, as a launch package, I just don't think they can do it.
Yeah, not as a launch package.
Keeping an eye on their price, like we spoke about earlier, they're conscious about their price. So I think bundling a Move in would just add an extra cost, which they don't want to do. So yes, I think the only way Move would be in with launch PS4s is with an optional bundle, but I think the standard, the one aimed at the mainstream audience will not be having the Move with it. No.
We have a couple other questions. My girlfriend Lee asked a couple of questions. She says, "Do you think the jump in power and technology from the PS3 to the PS4 will be as big as the jump from PS2 to PS3?" She says there's arguments being thrown around that next-gen consoles won't be all that much more powerful, because how much farther can they go? And I kind of agree with that. But, there was a huge significant jump between the PS2 and PS3.
Yeah.
If you look at Grand Theft Auto Vice City and you look at Grand Theft Auto 4, they look way different.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And even now, if you look at Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 3, they look way different. They look similar, but they're both beautiful. But Uncharted 3 is later and it's much prettier.
Yeah.
Look at games like Journey. And I agree with her. How much farther can we go? How much prettier can we be?
I think this generation, there will be obviously a small graphical update, but I think the next generation is definitely going to be more defined on how deep games are, the amount of depth we have. As you said with GTA, the jump from GTA Vice City to GTA 4, there was a lot more to do in Vice City. You had remote control cars and all sorts of stuff, while 4 was just been, kind of cookie cutter open world, the
Let's
basic
bowling,
GTA package, yes, the social function was that. But I think it gives the opportunity, especially with, I think there'd be a lot more RAM. There'd be a lot more opportunity to have bigger open worlds and bigger draw distance. So I think this generation, PCs have gone quite a long way that we've been holding back the PC games. You know, and you see games like PlanetSide 2, if you've ever seen that, which is a Sony.
I saw a little bit of that.
It's a Sony free-to-play online. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see Mag, which is Massive Action Game? I think it's called.
I saw a little bit. I think you showed me a video of it a while back.
But yeah, Mag was a PlayStation exclusive, which had 200-something players on a map online.
Yeah.
But I mean, that game flopped because it didn't, the frame rate wasn't perfect and the gameplay wasn't that good. But I think we'd be seeing, games like Battlefield games. We've been relegated to 24 players, I think, and while PC's been able to have 64. Even to up to 100 people in games, that I think we'll be seeing a step in a different direction, more to having a more entertaining generation than this one.
Mm-hmm. That's a good answer. That's much better than my answer. I'm gonna step back again. Let's not talk about the PS4 because I got a question from a friend, Gloria. She says, "Why do you believe the PlayStation is better than a PC?" Why do you think so?
Why do I think so? Well, I'd say, each have their own merits, but I'd say...
Because you play some PC games. I'm not a PC gamer.
I'm not a PC gamer because I only use the laptop, but I play, small games like Super Meat Boy or Limbo and stuff like that. But I think the reason I prefer PlayStation as a platform is because, it's a pick up and play mentality. With PC games, if you go to a shop, or you go even in the Steam store, you're never 100% certain that your computer will run it. You may run into bugs all the time. I'd rather, go to a shop, go to Amazon or something, buy a game, put it into my machine and know, that it's going to work from day one. I'm not going to have any issues, not going to be faffing about, I just put it in the machine and I'm going to be able to play it, end of. That's why I prefer the PlayStation platform.
My personal opinion, go back to what I said about PlayStation Plus. That's a big key in it.
Yeah.
It's got better exclusives, personally. I mean, Uncharted, Infamous. Even the ones that I don't like Resistance and Killzone, Ratchet and Clank, they're all great.
Yeah.
In their own right. But also, the PlayStation as a machine is very good. Because it does pretty much everything. And it only does everything. I mean, it plays Blu-rays, it plays DVDs. You can get your all kinds of video content. Your Netflix, Amazon, Instant Video, Hulu Plus, YouTube, all that.
Yep.
And
you can use it as a browser. So
yeah, I mean the browser's not very good.
It's slow, but it's functional. So.
Yeah, it's functional. Trophies.
Yeah, trophies definitely.
I mean, honestly, when you ask me, if you ask me to find the weakest point in a PlayStation experience, if I just looked through my XMB and was like, what's the weakest part of the PlayStation? It would probably be a tie between PlayStation Home and the browser. And those are two things you never have to use.
Home's optional, exactly.
Well, yeah, of course. Those are two things you never have to use. So who cares?
Yeah.
The PlayStation is just an all-around great machine. And that's why I love it. It doesn't let me down.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, one more time. I think these two questions go together. So I wanted to save them for last. Lee also asked us, what improvements or updates would need to be made to the PS4 in order to compete with and surpass the next Xbox? And also, I guess they don't really blend together, but still I'm going to ask this anyway. James Pungello from VGU.TV is also on the GamerCast. He also hosts the VGU Roundtables, which are on our official YouTube, VGU Official. He says, if you could have any feature within the realm of reason, which means I can't ask it to make toast, in the PS4, what would it be? So, our questions are, any feature in the PS4, what would it be? And, trying to get back to this tab, what improvements, updates would need to be made to compete with and surpass the next Xbox?
Yeah. Well, I'd say we definitely need cross-game chat. I mean, something like a Skype-based service, even just on the PlayStation. You can talk to people on your friends list, even though you're playing different games. This is sorely missing. I mean, I've been, a lot of my friends talk through Skype while playing different games, but it needs to be integrated in the system, and it's in Xbox. And, it's just embarrassing that Sony hasn't done it, and the resources they spent on home need to be spent on that.
See, I've never been very interested in cross-game chat because if I'm playing a game, if I'm playing a new game, I'm listening to the story. If I'm playing a game that I've played before, then I'm listening to a podcast. But if I'm playing a game with friends, I only want to talk to the people that I'm playing with.
True.
So I don't need to hear. I don't need, it's happened before. I've been on the phone with, like, Josh or someone. They're playing something, I'm playing something else. And it's fine. That's fine. But we already have Skype, and it's not... I personally don't feel like it's necessary. I can understand why people might want it, but I don't think it's necessary.
See, I still disagree. I mean... I think this is what makes PlayStation a notoriously antisocial kind of network when you play online games. A lot of people, Xbox is bundled with a headset while PlayStation is not. And, and this, on top of it, there's no sort of, there's no motivation to get involved with other people you meet online. Well, I think if you got, if they bundle some sort of headset or they just have the cross-game chat, they'll give you some incentive to, talk to people online and have, people you meet online, you can, instead of just only, playing a single game together, you can play multiple games, because not everyone has access to, Skype when they're playing the video games. And right. I think it's a basic thing that PlayStation 4 needs to come with, especially since Microsoft has it and they need to compete. So,
I would agree with you on the headset. I think the PlayStation needs its own headset. Like, I've got this crappy Bluetooth that hurts my ear when I put it in.
Yeah.
I don't want a Bluetooth. I want to have a little headset. I think it's perfect. I think a headset is perfect. But as far as other updates or changes or something, I can't really. It's really hard. I mean, as you can hear, I'm a huge fan of PlayStation. Like, PlayStation really do no wrong in my eyes at most days.
Same, yeah.
So, the most I can say for it to surpass the Xbox or the next box would be just a competitive price and a great launch lineup. That's all I can say. It's like, if they want more sales, like a better PS3 sales over Xbox, or a better PS4 sale over an Xbox sales, it's got to be a good price with great launch titles.
I'd also argue it needs to be compatible with PlayStation 3 games.
It should be,
because it's a Blu-ray. It's likely to be a Blu-ray drive again.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think if they release the next PlayStation and it's not going to be able to play the last generation's game, it's going to be a hard sell for a lot of people.
That will be a hard sell. I mean,
I think
you're
asking
your audience to basically abandon your previous
exactly
games.
Yeah. I don't think with the prices they're charging nowadays, I don't think you can justify it like you could with PlayStation 1 or 2 games. You need to. I just think they definitely need to have at least PlayStation 3 games working. And I think what you bought on the store this generation needs to carry over with your account. I think your profile needs to carry over as well.
Profile, trophies, everything needs to carry over.
I think it needs to be as seamless as they can try, seamless as they can make it. And they need to continue. I'm sure Plus isn't the great. Isn't too great for them profit-wise, because I doubt it's cheap to offer all these games for free, but I think it gives them a massive competitive edge. And if they start the generation with that competitive edge, I think they can really win people over.
I'd love to see them do... I'd love to see if the PlayStation 4 launches and they have a great Plus sale to go with it. Like,
yeah, a welcome launch.
Like, if you...
Welcome to this generation.
I would like to see discounted games. Like, discounted launch games. Like, not that much. Not out of the realm of reason. Like, we're not talking half off $30 game.
Or perhaps just one of them, like one game, like the next, whatever they launch with, if they launch with a new, that'll be kind of just one of them.
I think
it'd be, but only during the first, during the launch, the first few weeks, as they're constantly being launched, they give incentives for a lot of people to buy it straight away, and it'd be a goodwill thing.
I'm saying, I think it would be fair if most, if not all, games were $45 to $50 on the store. I mean, it's not a big, it's not a big discount, but it's a nice discount.
Yeah, it's a discount that's needed because I can see there's probably...
And you could get a load of sales off of those. You'd still make your money back.
Exactly, yeah.
So, that's my personal opinion. What was that other question that I was looking at the other day? Any feature within the realm of reason in the PS4. What would it be? Do you have any ideas? I don't have any ideas, because like I said, PlayStation can't do no wrong. You were talking cross-game chat.
Cross-game chat, I think that's more an essential.
I'd say maybe a better browser.
Better browser, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's got to be something.
This is true.
That's all I can think of. But that segues to our last segment of the show, and that is a question to you, listeners. We're gonna flip that question back onto you. What feature that isn't on the current PlayStation would you want for the PlayStation 4? We're gonna tweet. We're gonna ask you this question now. We're gonna tweet at you. We're gonna tweet it out later, and you can send us your responses. You can tweet at us. You can. I think Tom, you're gonna set up a Facebook probably sometime this week.
I shall. Yeah, I'll announce that next week.
All right.
This episode. But...
So. That's going to be our question for this week. This is the first episode.
So yes, if you're wondering why the questions are a bit thin this week and why they're from a lot of the staff members, it's because it's our first episode, so get involved.
Episode. And I think we did pretty well, Tom.
I think we did. I'm sure it's fine. We are obviously room for improvement in all the sense.
Oh yeah, of course. but
yes, yeah. So how can they contact us?
This is the VGU.TV's PlayStation podcast, DualShock. Now, you can always go to the website, VGU.TV. You can also tweet at VGU.TV, but we also have our own Twitter, DualShock Show. So tweet at us anytime if you have questions, if you want to respond to the Ask the Audience question. As I mentioned earlier, we usually tend to put our podcasts up on our YouTube because iTunes can sometimes be tricky. So, if that's the case. I don't know how we're going to do this because this is our first show. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But but I would keep an eye on VGU.TV official. That's our YouTube. So check it out. See if it goes up in the next few days. Or if you want to tweet at us individually. I am Mattman07. Tom is Gaming Hobbyist. Or if you want to play with us on PlayStation, I'm Mattman310. And Tom is Pi_Guy. That's Pi Guy, the guy with the pie. Anyway, this is the first episode of DualShock. Thank you so much for listening. And we hope you'll join us again next time.
Goodbye.
See ya.